Hello and welcome to my presentation on the skill acquisition program focused on learning the rugby spiral pass. Over a 20-hour training period, I worked to improve both form, technique, and accuracy using a structured and progressive approach. Spiral passing in rugby. Why is the spiral pass used? The spiral pass is a fundamental skill in rugby crucial for fast and accurate ball distribution across varying distances. Perception action coupling in a spiral pass enables players to interpret defenders' positioning and teammates' movements, allowing for quick, accurate passes by coordinating visual cues with motor actions under dynamic conditions. When and how is it used? Used in open play to quickly transfer the ball across the field, the spiral pass is executed by gripping the ball firmly, rotating the wrists, and releasing with a spin to increase distance, accuracy, and speed, helping shift the play wide or reach a teammate in space. Essential motor skills for mastering the spiral pass. In order to master the spiral pass, there are several key motor skills that play a crucial role in executing the technique effectively. Let's take a closer look at each one and how they contribute to a successful pass. Hand-eye coordination. This skill is essential for timing the release of the ball to match the target. Good hand-eye coordination helps ensure the ball is released with accuracy, enabling it to reach the intended receiver or target area consistently. Grip strength and control. The spiral pass relies on maintaining a firm yet flexible grip on the ball, allowing for control over the spin. A strong grip ensures that the ball remains stable during the throwing motion, while control helps adjust the spin based on distance and speed needs. Over the training period, developing grip strength was a key focus to improve stability and control over the pass. Wrist flexion and rotation. Wrist movement is a core component of creating the spiral in the pass. A controlled and consistent wrist flick generates the spin required for the ball to travel in a straight, stable trajectory. The right amount of wrist rotation allows the ball to travel quickly while maintaining accuracy, making this skill essential for achieving the goal of horizontal, consistent spirals. Upper body coordination and power. Effective passing requires coordinated movements from the shoulders, arms, and core. This coordination allows the player to generate power while maintaining balance. For longer passes, upper body strength and coordination ensure that the ball reaches its target with enough force without compromising control. Balance and body positioning. Balance and positioning of the body during the pass are key to keeping the pass consistent, especially under pressure. Good positioning allows for stability during the throwing motion and helps direct the pass more precisely. By practicing stances, stepping into the pass, and adjusting footwork, I aim to improve stability, which directly impacts accuracy. Timing and rhythm. Finally, rhythm and timing are essential to synchronize the body's movements in the spiral pass. Timing the release to match the movement of teammates or to avoid defenders can make the difference between a successful pass and a turnover. Developing rhythm in the throwing motion helped build consistency, and this was practiced repeatedly to make it more automatic. Together, these motor skills created the foundation for a reliable and effective spiral pass, each skill reinforcing control, accuracy, and adaptability. Over the course of training, focusing on these elements allowed me to make steady improvements in both technique and confidence. Constraints. In learning to spiral pass, certain constraints shaped my training approach. I focused on three types. Task constraints, such as varying the passing distance, environmental constraints, like practicing under different weather conditions, from in the sun to the shade to simulate game scenarios, and finally, individual constraints, which address my non-dominant hand. These constraints helped in creating a dynamic learning environment, encouraging adaptation and skill refinement. How does Newell's model relate to spiral passing? Newell's model of constraints played an essential role in this project. According to Newell's three constraints, they all interact together to shape motor learning. For the spiral pass, individual constraints included factors like my coordination and grip strength. Environmental constraints such as wind and ground surface challenge my adaptability, and task constraints, like distance, pushed me to refine my technique. Furthermore, adjusting the position which I passed the ball from also changed throughout the course of the project, starting from passing in a traditional dummy half position to standing and then finally running. Together, these constraints created a supportive structure for progressive learning. Constraints-led approach. Using a constraints-led approach allowed me to focus on adapting technique within the boundaries of these constraints. For instance, by adjusting task constraints like distance and angle, I could progressively work on accuracy and speed. Environmental constraints like practicing in different conditions help to make the technique adaptable, simulating the unpredictable nature of real games. This approach encouraged me to find effective solutions naturally within each set of conditions, reinforcing skill retention. For example, the individual is forced to adjust their grip, which is a task constraint, due to possible wet conditions, which is an environmental constraint, and finally passing from their dominant hand, which is an individual constraint, for a stronger pass. This example highlights how all constraints work together to develop the skill. The power law of practice. The power law of practice was evident throughout this training in the early sessions, where there was notable rapid improvements as I adjusted to the basics of grip and body positioning. Over time, as these foundational skills improved, further progress became more gradual. By introducing new challenges like distance variation and having the target not stable but rather moving, I could continue making small steady gains in accuracy and speed, ensuring ongoing development even as improvement slowed. Goal and hypothesis of the project. The primary goal of this project was to learn how to deliver a fast and horizontally consistent spiral pass with high accuracy. My hypothesis was that by using the constraints-led approach, I would achieve measurable improvements in accuracy, consistency, and speed by the end of the 20-hour training period. This structured approach aimed to create a noticeable improvement in technique while allowing for adaptability in various situations. Training program measurements. To measure progress, we used several metrics. First was accuracy, which we tracked by noting the number of passes that reached a specific target area, being the chest of the ball receiver. Factors that ruled out a pass being on target included if the ball receiver had to take a step in order to catch the ball or if they had to bend over to catch the ball. Next was spin quality, assessed by rating the tightness of the spiral. If the ball was spiraling vertically, this was noted as a low spin quality pass and was noted to be improved upon. I also recorded distance achieved, noting improvements in maximum effective passing distance. Lastly, we assessed adaptability by observing pass quality in varied environments and paces. Together, these measurements provided a well-rounded view of my improvement across accuracy, technique, and distance achieved. Training program description. The 20-hour program was divided into 10 sessions, each lasting 2 hours long with a structured progression from fundamentals to advanced application. In sessions 1 to 3, the focus was on mastering fundamentals and core technique of the spiral pass. This included refining hand and wrist positioning as well as foot alignment, which are essential for generating an accurate and controlled spiral pass. Sessions 4 to 7 then progressed to building power and increasing passing distance. The passing range was gradually extended from 10 meters to 15 meters to 20 meters, challenging me to apply the foundational techniques from earlier sessions to deliver longer and more powerful passes. This phase emphasized both control and distance, reinforcing the mechanics needed for effective passing at range. The final sessions 8 to 10 focused on fine-tuning the skill and applying it to game-like situations. Here I practiced passing while running, simulating real gameplay conditions where the target, a teammate, is also moving. The dynamic training was crucial as it required maintaining form and accuracy on the move, mirroring in-game demands. This training program was designed to develop the essential skills and adaptability needed for effective spiral passing in real rugby scenarios. Through each session, I worked on positioning and movement from all passing angles and positions likely encountered in the game, providing a strong foundation for confidently executing the spiral pass in competitive play. Post-footage discussion. As highlighted in the footage, key technical positioning cues were lacking, including the hands failing to follow through with the pass and the foot failing to plant prior to passing. Footage displays the importance of perception-action coupling in identifying the target and adapting movements to successfully deliver the ball. The constraints applied for sessions 4 to 7 included the distance being increased from 10 to 20 meters, while also adjusting the start position of the pass. This acts as a challenge to myself as I can no longer use the ground to drive the ball through to generate power, rather I have to rely on my feet, hips and knees. In this footage here, it is evident that the correct technique is being used, which consequently results in the ball being delivered accurately at a high speed. Throughout this training session, the key observation concluded that a significant correction in form was noted, with actions such as hands following through with the pass and foot successfully planting prior to passing results in significant increases in pass accuracy. From the footage we have just observed, significant improvements are evident with the quality of passing and distance which the ball travelled at. Furthermore, key technical movements were all completed to a high standard, further improving the acquisition of learning the skill to spirally pass. This can be further reinforced by the images below comparing the form at the start of the project and at the end, with the image on the left displaying incorrect form which was expected at a novice level, in comparison to the images on the right highlighting not only the correct technique, however a tight horizontal spiral on the pass. The results gathered from the project highlighted several key factors, including that Newell's model indeed can be successfully applied to learning how to spirally pass. As the graphs highlight, the passes on target experienced a growth of 50.2% across the 20-hour project. Furthermore, passes maintaining the desired horizontal also experienced a growth of 55.5%, with results exponentially growing at such a high rate and percentage. A strong link can be drawn between the power law of practice, which states a rapid growth occurs in early sessions with high repetitions. Discussion. The strengths of this project included a focused practice, which is a 20-hour dedicated practice period which allows for concentrated focus on technique refinement, facilitating noticeable improvement in grip, wrist movement, and pass accuracy. Another strength of this project was measurable progress. The structured timeframe allows for clear tracking of skill development over sessions, making it easy to assess short-term gains and mastery. However, on the other hand, weaknesses of this project included limited long-term retention. Skill acquisition within a 20-hour period may not guarantee lasting retention or autonomy, which typically require longer periods and ongoing practice. Finally, the last weakness of this project was a lack of game-specific adaptation. With regular practice in dynamic game-like scenarios, the skills developed might not fully transfer to realistic game situations under pressure. In conclusion, the 20-hour skill acquisition program for the rugby spiral pass successfully demonstrated marked improvements in form, technique, and accuracy. Guided by a constraints-led approach, the goal of delivering a fast, consistent, and accurate pass was met, confirming the hypothesis that targeted, structured practice enhanced skill consistency, speed, and precision.